So the desired outcomes for today's webinar would be twofold or threefold. One, I'm going to show you a dashboard and you could use it as is. You could just copy it, use the exact use cases I'm going to show, do the exact things I'm going to show because we think it's pretty helpful, and you could use it as is. But two, and maybe this is even more desired, is it's going to show you the art of the possible. So you're going to see this dashboard and you're going to think, oh, that's cool, but man, maybe I could throw these reports in here and it could be specifically helpful for me. So if you're a team leader or a section editor, you might think of dashboards you could build after watching this. Or if you're a journalist watching this, you might think of dashboards that, hey, you want to ask your team leader after this and say, hey, please build this dashboard for me, and I'm going to use it all the time. So multiple different things, kind of desired outcomes for today. But let's go ahead and jump right into the tool. So if you were present during the dashboard webinar during our spring launch last month, you're going to see some familiar things. We're going to not go super deep into the nuts and bolts of the dashboards because we do have that webinar on our YouTube channel if you need to go take a look at that. But you're going to see some familiar things. And then if you haven't seen that webinar, you're going to see some new things today. So first of all, here we are within the tool. First, let's just access dashboards. So to get to dashboards, you hover over to the folder with the heart inside, click on that. Your shared with me tab, those are going to be all the dashboards that you have access to. The all tab, those are going to be the dashboards across your entire organization. And then we have the Marfeel tab. These are the ones that we have built for you. There's 8 so far, as you can see, but we're building more. Okay. There's going to be more and more as we do more of these webinars for the different dashboards. But today we're going to go over the My Author overview. And this can be yourself, my author, but it could also be my section overview, my newsroom overview, just basically whatever matters to you. In fact, the webinar invitation, I hope you got the Lord of the Rings reference, one personalized dashboard to rule them all. This is just basically what matters most to you. This dashboard answers the question that I think I get most from my clients, which is, then what, right? I have access to all this amazing data in Marfeel. It's more than I've ever had before. This is awesome, but what do I do with it? Then what? So what? What are 2 to 3 quick opportunities I can find and pinpoint within the next 5 minutes to improve my content right now and make actionable changes? So that's what we're going to try to show. So let's click on My Author Overview. What you're going to do once you click inside this is you're going to click on Clone, okay? Because you're going to make your own version. Because again, you can use this as is, or you can also change things around, swap in reports that are more important for you, and personalize it however you'd like. So I'm going to jump over here because I have already created that clone. So we were showing that you could do My Author, or you could do any of the other potentials that you'd like as well. Okay, so now let's dive into the reports themselves. So this right up here is the snapshot of what's going on right now. Okay, so I've got my traffic so far today compared to yesterday, engagement time so far today compared to yesterday, article output, subscriptions. My immediate KPIs right at the top, showing my predictive analytics to give me context for what I'm looking at. Then I can see my visual evolution of my traffic today and just an overall look at the traffic today. You can see this is coming in as the same form as your Compass report. So you've got your headline, you've got your promo image. This is going to be the traffic for the story so far today. This will be the RFV score for the story. So the RFV is the average loyalty score, 0 to 100 of the readers in this story. So we see this story at a 20 RFV has more loyalty than this story at an 11. Page views, average engagement time. You'll see these little bars here are color coded to traffic medium. So pink is heavy social, getting a lot of social traffic here. And then we have the visual evolution of the traffic over time. Okay, so here's your just immediate snapshot. How am I doing right now? What are my top stories? How are my KPIs looking? Then, like I said, we can get into the meat and potatoes. This is the then what, so what. Let me get actionable information super quickly. So again, we threw in about 4 or 5 of these different reports in here. You can use them as is, or think of ones that you could throw in here for an opportunities report. This one here is improve recirculation and engagement time. Okay, we look over here at the instruction card for how to use this. We're going to find the top stories with the lowest recirculation percentage. Okay, so recirculation is of the people that go into your story, what percentage of them click on a link to then stay on your site? And that's a huge deal to Google because traffic that comes to your site is one thing. Traffic that comes and then stays on your site is the golden goose. That's really what you're looking for. So any way you can boost the recirculation percentage in your content is a quick, immediate way to boost the things you're doing. So anything above a 4 to 5% is pretty good. So we see we've included the recirculation percentage in this report and the engagement time. So I immediately see this story right here. I'm getting a lot of traffic, but the recirculation isn't so hot. So within about 10 seconds there, I found a story that I want to address. Now, what do I do? Oh, Marfeel, tell me please. Use Copilot to find the best articles for internal linking. Access the article metrics viewer heads-up display to identify the worst performing links and replace them, or insert recommenders. And you could do all that from right here. So open original article. I'm going to pop right over here to a separate tab. We're pulling open the story. Okay, I'm going to open up the Marfeel Copilot Chrome extension. I'm going to give that a couple seconds to populate. Then I'm going to click on Copilot and see this tab right here that says linking. Once I click on that, Copilot is going to show me the best stories to link to in this piece of content that we think is going to be most relevant for driving recirculation. So within about 1 minute, I'm able to find the top links to throw in this story. Super, super easy process to boost recirculation. Something else you can do, access the article metrics view to find the worst performing links and get rid of them. Great. See metrics and article details. Let's open that in a new tab. We'll pop right over here. Okay, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to scroll down to the All My Links section. And these are all the links that have appeared in your story. Here's their viewable click-through rates, so the percentage of people that click on them and their amount of clicks. Find the stories that aren't doing so hot, get rid of them, and replace them with new content. Or again, you could insert a recommender, such as a flow card, to boost recirculation as well. 3 quick and easy things that once you've identified a story that has low recirculation, you can do. This is something you can do in 5 minutes to make meaningful changes to your content. Or we can go even lower hanging fruit. Here's a report looking at my worst performing articles. So at the top, we had best performing articles. Now here's worst performing articles. So what are immediate things I can do to try to send traffic, send activity of any kind to the stories that aren't doing so well for me? So we've got the headlines here, the article published date. This is over the last 48 hours. And then we also included this column because this tells you if this has been posted on social media or not, because that is an immediate way that you can get some quick traffic to a story. So look, these top 3 so far have not been posted on social media. So that's something that I might then post on social media myself, or I might then go ask, my production team or my social media desk to go ahead and do that for me. Okay, immediate ways to try to boost traffic to stories that aren't getting that traffic. Now we get down to the Google Discover section. So, oh mighty Marfeel, what do I do? Filter to your top performing topics using the left-hand report, and then check the Discover monitoring board on the right to see what's popping on Discover in that topic. Are your articles there? If not, you may need to better optimize them for Google Discover success. So what we've got right here is these are my top topics generating traffic for me right now. So let's say I want to see what's going on in the Deportivo Saprissa topic on Google Discover. Are my stories on there? Are my competitors beating me in real time? Let's see exactly what's going on. So I'm going to click on this filter and then watch. That filter is now going to apply to this report as well. So now we're seeing the Deportivo Saprissa real-time Google Discover. And I can see I'm not in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not in the top 5 right now. Okay, so my Deportivo Saprissa stories are not being maximized for Google Discover. What can I do? Can I go in and try to change headlines? Can I go in and try to boost these stories on social media? Because we know that Google Discover looks for traffic boosts, traffic flags as reasons to put it on its Discover feed. So if I can create some traffic by either maybe putting it on social media or putting it in my recommenders and getting a lot of traffic to that story quickly, maybe I can boost it on Google Discover. Okay, but it's that easy. You filter to the topic in this report, then you see your Google Discover feed in your country and language specifically for that topic. And the cool thing is once you filter to that topic, all of these reports are filtered to that topic as well. Now we're just looking at my Deportivo Saprissa recirculation opportunities. Now we're just looking at my Deportivo Saprissa top red articles. You can see the filter is set right at the top here. But I'll X out of that for now, and we'll continue down with the rest of the reports. So we covered recirculation. We covered low performing articles. We covered Google Discover. Now, let's go ahead and try to find some fluff to put on social media. Looking for which stories to post on social media? You bet, Marfeel, I sure am. So this report right down here, Evergreen Article Reposting Opportunities. This is trying to find old stories that are still generating social traffic that might be worth reposting on social media. You don't want to do this for a story like, say, there was a story that I posted on Facebook that did really well 3 days ago. You don't want to post that again. You are going to get penalized for that. Meta and all the Facebook and all the social media, they catch on to that, and they're going to penalize you if you just try to keep hitting the same thing over and over again. But if there's something from January 2nd, if there's something maybe from March 18th that did really well on social media and you repost that now, then you're not going to get penalized at all. And in fact, it might help you. You know that this had success on Facebook in the past. I'm going to try to do it again. And here's your helpful list of stories to do for that. This other report takes a look at successful recent articles not yet published on social networks. So this is a great list of stories to immediately put out on social media. And we included this traffic source with internal to show you the best candidates to get out on social media. Because right now we're looking at the story, the source, and the amount of audience that came from that source, right? So this is essentially the largest audience chunks for each story. So what you're going to want to do is look for sources that correlate with success on social media. And we know that if a story does well in Google Discover, chances are it's going to do well on Facebook as well, because those two mediums are very similar in the way they present information. Scroll down, dark social. If a story is doing well in dark social, that means people are sharing it organically. If you didn't know, our dark social is basically peer-to-peer messaging platforms. So if I think a story is super cool and I text it to my friend and they read it, that's a dark social page view. If I WhatsApp it to my buddy in Canada, if I send it on Facebook Messenger to my wife and they read it, dark social page views. So for that reason, stories that do well on dark social are very organically spreadable and organically shareable. I'm not forcing this on people. They're showing that they're interested enough to text it to their friends and their friends click on it. So it's interesting enough to them. So for that reason, stories that do well in dark social are great newsletter candidates, great push notification candidates, and great candidates to get out on social media. So immediately I can go ahead and see these two at the top, get them out on Facebook, would want to get this one out on Facebook as well. So I can do this myself, right? I can just maybe get it out on my Facebook, or I could post it on my Blue Sky, on my Twitter, wherever I can post things. Or I can talk with my social team, say, hey, can we get these in the queue? Or if I have access to our social distribution through Amplify, right here, I can just click that button. It'll pull up a nice little window where I can then post out to all of our social platforms right from within this dashboard. Okay, so it's a quick, full stop solution for everything you need. Okay, so we'll get out of there. We'll go down to this report. This is Google search opportunities. So what this report looks at is here are the search terms for which your content is ranking. Here's the content ranking for it. Here's all the Google search metrics. And then here's the day since last update. So a super low hanging fruit thing you can do with this report is scroll until you find a story that hasn't been updated in quite some time. And all these look like they're recent, but here we go. Here's one from 13 days ago, still getting traffic for us in this keyword. I might want to go in and just make sure it's fresh, accurate, and updated. And I might use Copilot for that, right? I could use our Copilot prompts like the helpfulness evaluation, expansion ideas, or different things like that I could do. Okay, so those are the opportunities reports. So again, I want you to look at these and think of what you could do with these reports. Could they help you? But also, what types of reports could you swap in if things are more helpful? We didn't even get into affiliation in these. There's tons of different types of affiliation reports you could put in here. We didn't get into subscriptions. You could put subscription opportunities in here. Okay? Instead of worst performing articles by traffic, maybe you look at worst performing articles by subscriptions. Okay? There's different things you can do. Just imagine the possibilities. See the art of the possible in here. Okay? Other things you can do once you have access to this dashboard is if you click on this little three dots right up here, you can also customize the way that each of these reports look. So perhaps this report here, this is for SEO search opportunities. Maybe I don't want this. Maybe this isn't suited for me. Maybe this is better suited for my SEO team, right? So I might want to just delete this from the dashboard. Go for it. Or I might want to move it to a different dashboard, right? I don't want to delete it, but maybe this makes sense to put in my SEO dashboard and I can move it directly over to that. Okay, so that's super easy to do. You can also customize the way these reports look. So if I don't want it to be an area chart, I want it to be, let's do a time series chart instead. You can see that. And you can also choose to remove the table if you don't want to see the table as well. Those are just a couple customization options for how you can view this data. We'll let that load there. Now we get to the bottom. And this is that more holistic approach. So I had the what's going on with me right now. What are some real-time opportunities that I can take advantage of? And now we get this nice broad view. So how am I doing this month so far? How am I doing this week so far? Okay. So we're seeing a bunch of different types of reports that you can include in these. Before our new dashboards that we unleashed in the spring launch, you could only visualize reports from Explore. Now, as you can see throughout this platform, you can visualize reports from Compass, Explore, Optimize, Core Web Vitals, Recirculation, Social Monitoring, and Discover Monitoring. So you can incorporate Discover Monitoring in here as well. Okay, we go back up to the top, and again, I want to reiterate these filters right here. Right now, we're looking at everything, but again, if you just want to see this for your own content, let's try this again. We'll do author equals my authors, and we'll let it load here. We see now we can see everything just for my content. Okay, very quickly tailoring to what you want. Same deal for section. Okay, if you're a section editor and you just want to focus in on everything for your specific section, tap on my sections right there. And then in a few seconds, everything gets loaded exactly for what you're looking for. And you can use as many filters as you'd like here. Like right now, we're looking at my sections. I believe I'm the Deportes section. But what if I want to look at that and I also only want to see things being read by my most loyal readers? Okay, I'm going to do my audience loyalty funnel right here. I'm going to do equals only lover and only loyal. So I click confirm. And then now I see all the reports just for the Deportes section among my loyal and lover users. Okay. So again, one more time to summarize. This My Author Overview is your personalized dashboard. It could be for my author, my section, my newsroom, customize it however you'd like. But the main goal is to answer that then what question. I have a lot of data. Now what are some immediate opportunities where I can improve my content and make actionable changes thanks to the access to that data I have with Marfeel? If you love this, use it as is. If you want to make tweaks, go for it. Do exactly what you want to do with it. So that is the presentation component. We've got about a good chunk of time here left for questions and answers. We wanted to give it time to answer your questions. If you have questions about, hey, what can this do? Can it do that? Can it do this? Ask those away, and we'll try to showcase as much as we can. So here we are in the Q&A.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Matthew. As you've seen, the idea of those new dynamics is to have very short pills of information so you can digest and use it straightforward on your day-to-day. So let's jump to the question. There's a lot. So let me choose and let's start with the basic ones. We have a lot of people asking, I want to start using it right now. So where can I find those dashboards? And this is a specific one that you have created.
So let's jump out to Compass. This is what you're going to see when you open up Marfeel. You're going to head over to the little folder with the heart inside. Click on that, and then click on the Marfeel tab. And then this is where you have all the ones that we have built for you. The one that we went over today was My Author Overview, but we also have 7 others that are extremely helpful. What you're going to do if you want to use this dashboard, click right here, and then click on Clone. And then that way you create your own version that you can edit as you see fit or use exactly as it is.
Perfect, perfect. The other question that I have here, and people is asking, can I see this exact same information, but just for a specific section of my website? How would I do that?
Yep. So that was the filter that I showed up here. So you could just type in section, and then we'll filter by section. And if you already have yours set to your own, like I have mine set as the sports section, you could just click my sections. Or let's say we just want to see the economy section, you select right there, you click confirm, and then every single report is going to be tailored to that section. So one of the cool things about our dashboards is that you don't need to have each of your section editors create their own anymore. You can create one, share it with all your section editors, and then they just set that filter and everything gets applied. I mean, it reduces so much legwork, it reduces so much time. You don't have to build all these individual reports specific to each section and save them to your own dashboard. You just build one and use this filter to apply to everything.
Okay, okay. So a lot of questions coming in as we speak. So let's go for the ones focused more on the dashboard. How can I share those dashboards with my peers internally within my company, and can I send those dashboards by email?
Yep. So let me go to my cloned one here that I have access to. So you click share right here, and then you choose who to share this with, as much as you'd like. So we could choose 5, 10 people, whatever. And then you choose if they are I'll show you, an owner, a co-owner, or a viewer, and then they can have immediate access to this. And then, yes, you can send any of these reports to them via any type of automation you'd like. So let's see, what if you're interested in this worst performing articles, right? You would then be able to click subscribe right up here and then send to email, Slack, or Teams. Whoever has access to the dashboard, you're going to be able to send to them with any type of automation. Send it once a morning, send it once an afternoon, 3 days a week, what have you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So, just to summarize, you can automate the reports individually, but the dashboard is to be consumed as a whole. And I think that the other on the sharing option, if your company works with teams, you can share to a specific team as well. You can share for specific member, a specific colleague, or to entire team. Depends on how you have your users structured. So this will also help. If you want to know how to configure your teams, just check with our support team, and this will work and will help you on that. So what else? What else do we have here? How can I identify if an article with potential has been distribution on social or through internal recirculation?
So you'd be able to see if a story has been distributed via social. There's an option right down here. Use this Has Social tab, but probably the easiest way to do that within this dashboard is to go right up here and use the Has Social filter. Okay, so we're going to click Has Social. If I select true, everything I see in this report is going to be a story that has been posted on social media. If I click false, everything on we see in this report is going to be stories that have not yet been posted on social media. Okay. And then when
Okay.
it comes to internal recirculation, you can go ahead and see maybe you have a specific recommender or a specific module on your homepage that you want to see how things are performing with. That's cool too. You just go right here to traffic source with internal. Okay. And then it's going to show up as its own traffic source. So for this one, block A, the left side of La Nacion, that's the homepage. So for any type of internal recirculation, you can also see how stories are performing with internal modules as well.
Okay, okay. I think this the next question is related to something that I think that we covered during the launch week, but let's go for it again. Is there any, can I go back in time? Can I change the time frame? What is the time frame that the dashboard takes into consideration, and how far can I go back in time?
Yep. So the default is for just whatever the time frame on the report is for each of these is the way it's going to be shown. However, you can click right up here, click on settings, and we're going to see show date picker. It's selected to no right now, but if I then switch it to, let's see, you could select any of these, and then that will then show that time frame as well. So if I want to do, let's do like last week for everything, click save. Okay, and then it pulls up as a time frame for last week. but then I can also customize it up here. So if I want to see everything going on in the last 10 minutes, by golly, real time, boom, I can then see that. Okay, so if you want to add the date picker, you can go up to the settings, click here, and then just select your date picker right there.
Very good, very good. So I have another one here, which is also very common whenever we are demoing the dashboard function. Is what happens with the dashboard if I have a lot of people using it at the same time, changing filters and time frame. How does the dashboard behaves? Are those changes applied to everyone? Everyone see different. So what happens?
So it's a session-based interaction, right? So I could be using this dashboard and having my own filters, and somebody else could be using the dashboard and having their own filters at the exact same time, and nothing would cross over. All your filters and date ranges are for each session, okay? So changes you make, if you set like your, if you have a My Author overview that your newsroom has built and they've shared it with everybody for them to use, you don't need to worry that if you jump in right now and set the filter to just look at your content, that it's going to screw things up for your colleague trying to look at their content. It's just session-based interactions.
Okay, okay. So feel free to touch it, feel free to analyze whatever you want. You are not messing with anyone's work. So again, this is what we said, right? So less spreadsheet, less spreadsheet. So this is the way that you can do it and help everyone with that. So we have questions here on if we can download those dashboards via PDF. Just anticipating no. There's a lot of questions around that. So the other thing is, can I look at this for a specific team or a specific section instead of seeing the whole website, just looking and analyzing it on a section basis?
Yep. So that would be the filter bar right up here again. So let's extend this out to maybe last 60 minutes. And what I might want to do is, sometimes you might just want to look at a certain group of authors too, or a certain group of sections. So you just type in section, and let's say I'm in charge of the football, deportes, maybe El Mundo, La Nación, random mishmash of sections, but I'm in charge of them, by golly. So I want to see all four of those right now. I click confirm, and again, it's super easy. It just immediately updates each and every report in here to those four sections. And you can use that for any filter like we've been talking about. Use it for audience filters. So what if I just want to see what my subscribers are doing? Okay. Or I just want to see what my people coming from Google Discover are doing. Okay. Or maybe I just want to see how my newsletters are doing. All you can do, all of that with the filter bar. You don't need to build separate dashboards. Build one dashboard. I hope this is music to all of your ears. Build one, share it with everybody, and then they can use filters to tailor it exactly to what they need.
Okay, okay. So the next one goes to the core of the dashboard on itself. Is there a way for me to configure the user, the author related to the user as a filter to the dashboard? So anyone that enters only see the information related to the articles that each one of them has produced. So if I'm an author and I enter, I only see the content that I have written. And if my colleague enters, they only see the content that they have written. Is it possible to do that?
So there's a couple ways to answer that. One, it is possible at the user management level. You can make it so users can only see their own data. Okay, so that is at the user management level with account level restrictions. So if you have a user set to where they only see their own data, they're going to jump into this dashboard and see their own data. We are also working on creating savable filters within these dashboards to where you could create a saved filter seeing to your own content so that you would have the option to just do it during that session, but you also have the option to have your own saved filter within. So there are a couple ways to skin that cat, so to speak. But yes, that is possible.
Yeah, another way that you can do that is using the filter author. And one of the options that we have recently implemented is my author, right? This is the first one you see. And basically, what you have to do is assign your signature or your byline to your user and it can be one or multiple. So whenever you choose this kind of filter, it will apply automatically to you. So as Matthew said, you can use the filter to do that. You can save it as default, so everyone, whenever enters, they only see their own data. So this is extremely useful as well. We've seen people using on large scale throughout the organization. And of course, assigning and linking your user to your bylines is also useful for you to use the My Post view on the real time. So there's a lot of secondary advantages. So yeah, so this is something that we have thought, because this directly impacts the day-to-day of the authors, and this is what we're trying to make it easier and faster. So let's
And if
see.
when you, real quick, when you pull up my authors, if you're not seeing any data, just means that your author hasn't been connected yet. So to do that, you just head down to your profile right here, click my profile, and then this is where you can customize your authors. And you can also customize your sections. And like Pedro said, you can do as many as you'd like.
Good. So let me check more. So there are more questions as we go. So a lot of things related to my author sharing. One of our this comes from the chat. So if I want to automatize the one report to receive it, I don't know, every day or every Monday or every Friday, receiving the reports on my email, how can I do that?
So let's do top topics. So you just jump right into the report, click there. Okay, you're going to click subscribe. Let's do send to email, and I'll have it sent to me. Confirm. So then here's where I get to customize that. So I could have it sent, on a weekly basis. Let's do Mondays and Fridays at 3 a.m. So that way I know it's for sure in my inbox when I wake up. We'll select the layout, the custom layout, and you click save. Or you could do on a daily basis at 5 a.m., save. Or you could do it on a monthly basis. You could do monthly on the third Wednesday or monthly on this day and click save. Once you click save, from now until time immemorial, it's going to go. You will get it each and every time at 5 in the morning, and you'll get that email sent to you with the report. And it will also include a link that you can then click on to get directly taken to Marfeel as well.
Okay. So let's go for the last question, and this just popped up on the chat again. Can I open one of the reports that I'm seeing in the dashboard and then changing these reports directly to something new? So adding more complexity to it.
Yes.
I'm doing and making an analysis, and I want to deep dive on some specific dimension. Can I do that?
Yep. So let's go ahead and click on this one just for practice here. We'll click on the pencil to edit. And what I'm going to do, just to show that it does update, is I'm going to remove the traffic source with internal column, just to show you what a change would look like. So we're going to X that out. Okay, so now I have a more simplified look. Great. I click save. Now, when I head on back, I scroll down. See, it's gone. It's updated for me.
Very good, very good. So with that question, we're gonna finalizing today. So please, if you have any question, do not hesitate to reach out to our support or to your customer success manager. We're happy to help you. If you are not a Marfeel customer already, do not hesitate, start a trial, reach our sales team, talk to our support team. Feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you along. So yeah, once again, thanks a lot for staying here with us. Remember, we will be doing this every other week, so you should receive another invite in the following days with the new webinars trying to bring you practical information. Please give us feedback. We'll be happy to receive and to know what you want to learn more, so we can prepare more webinars for all of you. Thanks a lot, Matthew. Very good presentation as usual, and have a nice end of Wednesday and the night rest of the week for everyone.